You know, it's always good to win an SEC game, especially on the road. You know, we typically struggle when we come over here and play, but you got to give Mississippi State's players and coaches a lot of credit. They had a really good plan. They played very physical out there. You know, we struggled to run the ball at times in the first half. Didn't control the line of scrimmage like we like. Turned the ball over 4 times. You know, that's not the kind of football that we need to play if we're going to be able to, you know, be the kind of team we're capable of being. Defense did a great job at the end of the game to make those stops after those turnovers in really tough field position. They're 1 score from, you know, getting back into the game. So you got to say a lot about the resiliency of the team in terms of, you know, hanging in there. But we couldn't take the air out of it at the end of the game either. So, you know, there's just a lot of things that we won the game, but we didn't really beat the other team, if that makes any sense. And that's, you know, really not how we usually try to do it. But there's a lot that our players can learn, you know, from this in terms of how prepared they were, what their, you know, mental energy and intensity was, you know, going into the game so that they could execute the way they needed to, how we prepared, you know, throughout the week. All those things contribute. I'd much rather have a team that wants to see how far they can go in terms of what their commitment is and what their sight is in terms of what they could accomplish. But that takes a heck of a lot of process, takes a lot of discipline, takes a lot of character. And you have to have those things if you're going to separate from other teams. And that's something that we have to prove that we can do. You know, I think there's a lot to be learned from this. I think that we have to prepare our players better. That's on us, that's on me. So however we play today is really kind of my responsibility, because that means we didn't get them prepared to play well. We didn't get them mentally focused so they could play their best. But I also think you got to give the other team a lot of credit because they played really well. And we have a lot of respect for their coaches and their team and the way they played today.
Questions? Go ahead when you're ready. Coach, there in the second quarter, right before half, you guys went to a pistol. See TJ breaks off a long run. Do they kind of give the offense a little, make it a little easier to run the ball?
Well, you know, I think when you're in pistol, I think when you're operating a gun a lot, you know, people sort of game plan by where the back is, you know, how they set the front, how they run stunts, what plays you can run, you know, when the back's offset a certain way. When you're in pistol, you really can't do that. When the quarterback's under center, you really can't do that. I think those things did help us in the game.
I was just in the second quarter, you decided to take the penalty instead of having them 4th and 1. What was your mindset with that and how it worked out for you?
Well, I just think 4th and 1 at the 1, you know, the percentages are with the offense. I mean, we go for it every time if it's 4th and 1 at the 1. And I can't remember the last time we've been stopped. So, you know, 3rd and 6, at the 6, field shrunk, you know, got a lot better chance to be successful. So we had some big stops down there, no doubt.
Scott, after the turnovers, there were some big stops on defense. Can you just kind of touch on how?
No, I already talked about that, but you know, we were in control of the game. We had a good drive. We broke a big run. We had a guy wide open. Threw the ball to the inside. It wasn't a good throw. We got pressure. Made the quarterback reset his feet and throw the ball off balance a little bit. Guy picks it, and they get great field position. And I was really pleased with the way our defense, you know, got 2 stops after that interception and the fumble. I mean, it's critical in the game. You know, it's a turning point in the game to, you know, get those stops. So defense showed a lot of character in those 2 circumstances.
When it is tough like that, how big is a Cody Mandel flipping field position several times?
Well, I thought Cody did a fantastic job today, man. One time he did it against the wind. And the wind was a factor in the game today, no doubt, especially in the kicking game. But Cody had a fabulous day today. I mean, fantastic. And I think it was huge.
You know what happened on the touchdown when they scored with the fumble? Was there any explanation given to you as to what?
Well, they fumbled the ball. I think both guys had possession, so that goes to the offense. Now the lesson to be learned for our guys is they fumbled the ball. We got the guys jumping up and down, pointing that we got it. The ball's laying on the ground. You know, my point is how about trying to get it? But anyway, I thought it was the right call. I mean, we had a chance to get it and didn't.
AJ's first interception, did you think that was the right call? Did you think about challenging it?
Look, you know, I think we have replay people in the booth, so they've already looked at it. So if they thought the guy was out of bounds, I thought they'd have reviewed it and looked at it. So you think me challenging it would have changed their mind? They already looked at it. You know, I coached in the NFL for a lot of years when you had to make those calls and you had nothing to look at except the big screen. And when you played on the road, they never played it on the big screen. That's when I used to throw it out there. If they didn't play it on the big screen, I could hang out to challenge it. That meant it must have been in our favor. A couple of them were too. But
Two more.
We saw Brian Vogel walk
you
out the
think that
field.
made a difference in the game? You think they would have made tried a challenge? You think they would have reversed it? But I didn't even see the play. Was the guy inbounds or out of bounds?
Out.
Huh?
Out.
He was out?
Like,
Why didn't they review it in the box?
they snapped it pretty quick.
Excuse me?
They snapped it pretty quick.
They can shut it down anytime they want. Well, I guess if that's the case, it's just like everything else. When you call the play and it doesn't work, it was a bad call. So if the guy was out of bounds and I didn't challenge him, it was a bad call. Bad on my part. Wasn't the only thing that was bad.
Have you noticed any difference in the production you've got in your pass rush, particularly the last two games? Seems like you guys have got a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
Well, you know, I think we're making some improvement there. I think it's going to be critical that we can do that in the future. Did a good job toward the end of the game today, but you know, a couple times early in the game we didn't get pressure when we thought we should have. But at the end of the game we did.
Saw Brian Vogel on crutches at the end of the game. What's his status?
He's got a sprained ankle.
Thanks, Coach. Players down in the end zone.